Good morning. How are you all doing? It is such a windy day today. And I am so excited to be giving you all some information on iron supplements. I had lots of questions from last week, and we are going to dive into those. But let me go ahead and do my introduction. My name is Connie, and I am a holistic women's wellness naturopathy practitioner. I have my BSN RN. I have been a nurse for over 10 years. I have been a self-care coach, and I've been in the healthcare industry for 27 plus years. I love what I do. Education is a big, deep passion of mine. And I appreciate whenever you all ask me if I could explain a little bit more about what I do, so that whenever we are having a conversation about what you're wanting to talk about during your appointment with me, you have a little bit of a background about me. You don't really get that with any provider. You're never going to get that with a doctor unless a doctor has done a webinar, unless a doctor's been to a speaking summit, which means that they've been paid for to speak at an event based on their knowledge of a particular topic. Okay. And those are very few and far between, because what I have seen, in my opinion, is I have seen many a professional to stay in their office confines and stick to what the computer is providing as a diagnosis, and to expel 2 to 3 prescriptions per diagnosis. And then next thing you know, you are still needing help with what you have going on. So then next thing you know, you have a surgeon that gets involved, or you have another specialist that gets involved. And really, if we could press rewind on the imaginary remote, we could have a conversation about what were some natural options that could have been provided. And more than likely, we would not be having to take this prescription to counteract this side effect of that prescription. Okay. So I love thinking outside the prescription bottle. That is what I do as a naturopath. I am not anti everything, but I will tell you, I am pro lots of things that are very natural, that are third party tested and have been proven for efficaciousness. What does efficaciousness mean? It means that it does what it says it's going to do. Okay. It means that the ingredients on the ingredient deck do line up with what they say they're going to do. Third-party testing is done by a company that has they're not a stakeholder. They have no stock in that company. That means that they're not going to go, heck yeah, we're going to say it does that because we've got money invested into your business. So we're not going to shoot ourselves in the foot and say that it doesn't do it. Okay. So when something is third-party tested, they have no dog in the fight. They are there to, more than likely, they don't know the name of the company. They just receive a blank statement that says, this is the product. These are the ingredients. This is what we say it will do. Like basically, if we say there's going to be weight loss, if we say that there's going to be lower anxiety, if we say that there's going to be ease in your stress, if we say that it's going to help with your urinary tract infection, okay? And those are great. No supplement is FDA approved. Not one, okay? Hundreds and thousands of dollars are what prescription drugs pay to the FDA so that they could get their FDA approval. Okay. Now, whenever you are talking about supplements and you hear someone say that it's FDA regulated, that is the job of the FDA to regulate, to make sure that you're not putting a bunch of crap inside a capsule and saying that it's going to be this miracle pill, and you're selling it for $5 a capsule when actually it doesn't. So it's one of those things where what do you do? So you go for the third party tested. It is not the same thing as FDA approved or FDA regulated. Okay, so we're going to dive deep into our notes here because we have some new people in the audience that didn't hear the discussion from last week, but you still had questions from the event that I spoke at yesterday. Yesterday, I was a speaker for a women's wellness business breakfast, and I appreciated that my conversation, that my slides were only 20 minutes long. I really know that the ability to concentrate and to listen is probably about 15 to 20 minutes anyway. So I really wanted to open up the floor to have questions. And in fact, I actually asked them to make the questions hard because I knew these were not questions they are asking their practitioner. And I knew that as an RN, I knew that as a naturopath, that if I could speak to them about what I know and to prove that I am someone who can be considered an expert in what I know and what I'm talking about, I provided them information about menopause. I provided them information about womanhood, literally womanhood. And I really appreciated the response from yesterday. And what I cannot wait to do is I cannot wait to continue that communication into my own webinar and to like a lunch and learn type or a webinar type where you all will receive information that is going to be chef's kiss amazing. All right. So I already have my introduction. You're going to see me looking at my notes. I looked at my notes yesterday. I always look at my notes because my notes are what I want to tell you instead of me just kind of flying off and just saying a bunch of random stuff. Okay. And trailing off into something that you're like, reel it back in. Okay. So every Wednesday we take a few minutes to learn about something that's simple but powerful. And that is how your body works and how you can support it naturally. You're going to see me taking sips of water because that is what we do when we talk. We have to stay hydrated. Today we're diving into a topic that comes up into almost every women's consultation that I do. It's iron. Okay. So we're going to be talking about what iron does in your body. I'm going to break it down into super simple terms here. If you want to book an appointment with me and you want to actually get some meat and potatoes and you really want to dig deeper into that because you take iron, you want to take iron, you want to know more about iron for your specific appointment, let's do it. Okay. The second one, why women, especially during their menstrual years, need more iron. 3, how to choose a natural or let's say even a vegan friendly iron supplement. I know so many people who do not want a non-vegetarian supplement because there are ingredients in there that for one do not align with them spiritually. But I'm going to tell you the second thing is their gut. It is more easily receptive and broken down in the gut when it is vegan friendly. Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about those type of iron supplements. 4, which vitamins help your body actually absorb that iron? Which vitamins actually help your body absorb the iron? And then the 5th one is who should not take iron without medical guidance? So have you ever felt like tired, foggy, weak? Then this conversation is for you. Now, I'm going to tell you this. This is the same thing that I told a lady asking me a question yesterday. I said, when you see the check engine light come on in your vehicle, that's when it's gone too far. Did you change the oil? Did you change the spark plug? Did you do all the maintenance that you were supposed to do? Because if not, your car's going to give you a signal. Almost when it's too late or when it's really kind of down in the barrel of your iron levels, okay? Now, it's the same thing for your body. When you start to feel tired, foggy, or weak, whoa, we should have been maintaining well before that. Okay? But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. There's no judging. This is what iron actually does in the body. So let's start with the basics. Iron is a mineral. It's not a vitamin. It's a mineral. Okay? And it has one big job. Its job is to carry oxygen to every single cell in your body. There are millions of them. Okay? There are so many cells in your body, and the iron's job is to go in and actually, I call it a little backpack, and it has a little backpack, and it goes to all the cells and says, you get oxygen, and you get oxygen, and you get oxygen. Okay? When our cells don't have oxygen, they can get those symptoms that we were talking about earlier. Pardon me. So here's a simple way to picture it. Your red blood cells, they are the delivery truck. They are huge. Okay? Your red blood cells are, some of them can be squatty. That's not what I'm talking about. That can be sickle cell. That's completely different. We're going to talk about that. Okay? We are going to talk about that. So this is a big red blood cell. This is what I talked about last week. Okay. And then the iron is the gas that keeps that delivery truck moving. Okay. Cells are constantly moving throughout your body. And yes, they are excreted whenever they are done. It's a cell life. You don't have the same cells. You do not have the same red blood cells in your body that you did when you were 7, if you are 27. Even if you're 17, even if you are 10, you do not have the same red blood cells that you did when you were 7. All right. So now, when you don't have enough iron, your body cannot deliver enough oxygen. Okay. So that's when you start to feel tired or weak. Now, you may feel something completely different than what I am saying, and you may have low iron levels from a blood test. Okay. But these are just some. These are just some of the simple ones that may be very, very easy to tell. There's something wrong. There's something going on in your body. Okay. So tired or weak, dizzy or lightheaded, cold all the time. What about pale or dark skin? What about brain fog or poor focus? This was a really big conversation yesterday during my discussion on menopause. Okay, so if any of these sound familiar, you might be low in iron. Okay, especially if you're still having a menstrual cycle. Okay, let's take a pause, and I'd love to know. Okay, do you take any kind of iron supplement right now? You can just literally type yes or no. Okay, or you can even put a little question mark, and that'll tell me, or you can actually type out, I'm thinking about it. So yes, no, a question mark, or actually say, I'm thinking about it. I really love seeing where everyone is. I love seeing this topic that affects most women in all kinds of different ways. So we're gonna talk about iron and your menstrual cycle. Okay. So let's talk about why it's especially important for women during their menstrual cycle. We are going to get to those who should not take iron, okay? But let's talk about those who are still having a menstrual cycle. And I am still talking about the menstrual cycle that you may be having once every other month, once every 3 months, okay? All right. So when we have our menstrual cycle, we lose blood. And that means that we lose iron. Okay? So over time, that loss adds up, especially if your cycles are heavy or they last longer than 5 days. I spoke with a woman yesterday. She told me that her menstrual cycle lasts 7 days. Okay. And then we're having this conversation about iron supplements, what to do. She said, I just want to book a call because she wants her own personal time to talk to me. And I think that that is so perfect because the 45 minutes that I had to speak to those women, that is not enough for you to receive the samples of what I'm saying and go, oh, yep, that totally applies to me. You definitely want to book an appointment because that allows you to have your own personal time to go, now let's just talk about me for an entire hour. And I want to talk about you for an entire hour. All right. So if your body doesn't replace iron, it can lead to low iron stores. That's literally called iron deficiency. Okay. Now, or in most cases, it can be a diagnosis of anemia. Okay. Anemia is definitely a time when you will not be able to donate blood unless, yeah, I'm going to tell you, there are just some I wouldn't know too many people who are anemic and would be allowed to donate blood. But I'm just saying that whenever you do donate blood and you're anemic, they're going to check you beforehand. They're going to see if it sinks or if it floats. Because when you are donating all of that blood and you have no oxygen stores left, that can cause you to faint. Okay, so don't be sad if someone tells you that you cannot donate blood. And there are actually people who actually have high iron. And that's so interesting how naturally they have high iron. They ask them to donate because whenever there is someone needing to receive blood, there is a very special patient for that. Just a little thing will just slide that in there. Okay. So here's what happens on a physical level. Your body's trying to make new red blood cells to replace the ones that we lost. Yep. Those get sent out. Those get filtered out through our kidneys and they go bye-bye. It's so interesting. You're not going to be able to look at them and go, oh, there goes my red blood cells. Nope. You don't know. They're so super tiny. Okay. But without enough iron, it cannot keep up. Okay. Remember, your body is trying to make these new red blood cells. And then, because there are some that are just like, they've either had their cycle life. Okay. Or they're just like, oh, now we don't need you anymore. And then it just goes out. Okay. And so our body cannot keep up because what it has left in there is not a red blood cell that had oxygen delivered to it. So we are going to start having some symptoms. Okay. This is why women feel especially weak, like they're drained, foggy, right around their menstrual cycle. Okay. It is not just in your head. Your body could be running on empty. Okay. This is a time during the premenstrual cycle, which could be a week before your menstrual cycle is supposed to start. This is the best time. If you're having those symptoms, it's the best time to have your ferritin level or your iron levels checked. Okay. Now, can they be low other times? Yes. But if you are specifically saying to either me or your provider, I feel busted. I feel like I have no energy the week before my menstrual cycle. And when I have my menstrual cycle, my energy level is in the toilet. Okay. This is why it is so crucial for lab work to be drawn at a specific time. Okay. All right. And I would tell you, this is not the time to start beefing up on your iron before your test. Keep your diet that you typically have, the one that makes you feel run down. Okay. The one that makes you feel run down. And so your provider can take a look and say, oh yes, okay, we definitely need to introduce iron-rich foods. We definitely need to introduce an elemental iron supplement. Okay. All right. So supporting your body with iron-rich foods or supplements during this time can help restore your energy and your mood naturally. I don't know of a single person that is tired and happy. Okay. Now, let's talk about natural and vegan iron options. Okay. Let's talk about these iron resources because not everybody wants or can take your typical iron pills that are found in a drugstore. For one, they can be really constipative. Constipation means that when you have a bowel movement every day, it starts to slow down and be in bowel movement every other day or every 3 days. And it can even be to once a week. That's not healthy. That is not healthy at all. Okay. All right. So there are two types of iron. There's heme iron, which is found in animal sources like meat or poultry. Okay. And then there's non-heme iron that is found in plant sources like spinach, lentils, beans, tofu, quinoa, pumpkin seeds. Okay. Last week I talked about quinoa. I'm going to break this down. Quinoa is a grain. It looks just like couscous. Okay. Quinoa is gluten-free. Gluten-free is whenever your body has a sensitivity or a response to when you eat wheat or gluten, and those ingredients, wheat or gluten, are entered into the body. As soon as it hits the stomach and it reaches the villi of the small intestine, which is, here's your stomach, here's the villi. These are the little finger-like protrusions that are the start of your small intestine, which is the tube that delivers food all the way to your colon, which is your large intestine. Okay? Now, that tube that connects from the stomach to right here, when these sensors of the villi, when they sense gluten, they eject the food out your bottom. That says, goodbye, we don't need you. You get zero, zilch, nada, none of those nutrients that were in that food. Okay? So, couscous is, it's kind of like think of it like a pasta, okay, that's made with wheat, that's made with gluten. And when it's ingested, it says goodbye. But quinoa, whenever people look at the quinoa and the couscous, they go, wow, I can still make something that looks like pasta, and I can use my quinoa. It's so rich in iron. Your couscous, not so much, okay? But this quinoa right here, this is such a delicious iron-rich grain. Pumpkin seeds, okay? By the way, if you have any questions, I do have an entire program called Eating for Your Body Type. I do have a spin-off of that program where I can actually provide for you every single month gluten-free foods, drinks, snacks, doesn't matter, smoothies. I can give you 30 days worth of all of that if that is a program that you want to do. Now, it is a program that you would want to be in for at least 3 months to at least 6 months so that you can actually get off of gluten and actually know and receive a grocery list so that when you go to the store, you know exactly what you are getting, because it's a confusing world out there to know, well, it says wheat. You said eat gluten-free. What ingredient am I looking for there to not be or to be to know if it's got gluten or not? Okay. I help you out with all of that. And that is definitely an appointment you want to book. Let's have that conversation. Pumpkin seeds. And how you do that is you go to my website, selfcareuniversityok.com, scroll up, see where it says contact us, send me a message. Send me a message and I will respond to you with the information. Now, I'm going to need your email address, or so you could actually direct message it if you want on Facebook, your email address, then I can actually send you a link. Okay? There's so much information out there, and I'm so happy to share. As someone who has celiac disease, which means I cannot eat gluten, this is exactly perfect. Okay? And yes, I did struggle with low iron, and so that is going to be a phenomenal resource for you. I am a wonderful resource when it comes to iron, celiac disease, gluten-free, how to do that. All right, so pumpkin seeds, that was the last of the non-heme iron, okay? Now, vegan or plant-based women, they rely on non-heme iron. And while it's a little harder for the body to absorb, okay, but these are natural, okay? These are natural. So natural. If you are someone who is told by your provider that you need to be on iron and you are vegan, I want you to look for non-heme iron. If you have questions and you want to know a little bit more about non-heme iron foods, let's have a discussion. Message me, email me. It's Connie at selfcareuniversityok.com. The letters O and the letter K, right? There you go. Now, some great vegan-friendly iron supplements can include iron biglycinate. It is gentle and it's well absorbed. What about iron from curry leaves or spirulina? I love spirulina. Okay. To some people, spirulina can have a little bit of a fishy taste. Think about seaweed, things like that. Trust me, it's in. Chase it with a drink, and I'll tell you this drink here in a little bit. It's going to be phenomenal. Okay. All right. And it's still going to be non-heme. Now, and it's still going to be vegan friendly. Let's say that correctly. It's going to be vegan friendly. All right, here's another one. Iron-rich herbal blends like nettle leaf, alfalfa, dandelion root. I'm not giving you all of these as a hop in to Amazon and start looking these up and take whatever is the least expensive milligrams and start taking it. You have to have a discussion. What are your iron levels? What are your symptoms? What is going on in your body? Because I can guarantee you that Walmart, that Amazon, that TikTok is going to say, yes, this helps with iron deficiency. Well, how many should you take? It says 2 capsules daily, but then the dose says 500. How much do you need? Do you need 500 milligrams? What are two gummies 500 milligrams, or are two gummies, is each one 250 milligrams? This is the discussion that you need to have with your provider instead of talking to someone inside a Facebook group that is telling you what they took for their anemia, because it is completely different. Again, I'm going to tell you, there are people who do not need iron supplements. I will tell you. All right. So, if you choose a plant-based supplement, always pair it with vitamin C. This is my next point. Vitamin. It's a vitamin. Iron is a mineral. Iron is a vitamin. Nope. Iron is a mineral. Vitamin C is a vitamin. There we go. Woo! All right. See, that's why we look at our notes. This vitamin actually, it helps work better. Okay. This actually helps that iron work better. This is where many people miss the mark. You can take iron every single day, but if your body doesn't absorb it, you won't get the full benefit. I don't care how much money you saved getting the $7.99 bottle at Amazon. It does not matter if you got the free shipping. It does not matter. Okay. This is where the vitamin C comes in. Vitamin C helps convert iron into a form that your body can use more effectively. Would you not want the iron to deliver oxygen to the blood cells, as many as possible and as more efficient as it can? Okay? Yes, the answer is yes. Okay? And it's likely like it's going in and it's turning a key to a lock, and it actually unlocks the iron's full potential, so that whenever it goes into those red blood cells, it says, you have all of me. I'm going to help do everything, and we're going to be so ready for our walk today. All right. Now, you can get vitamin C from citrus fruits. What are citrus fruits? Last week, I talked about oranges. Oranges are very well known as a citrus fruit that are known to be a great provider of vitamin C. Now, I will tell you, I was talking about genetically modified organism, GMO. Do not get genetically modified oranges. How do you know if you're getting a genetically modified orange? I will tell you. They taste like nothing. You peel it because it looks just like an orange, and you taste it and it tastes like nothing. It just tastes like you're eating water. There is no orange pulp, citrusness, acidity, and just this delicious orange flavor. There's nothing in there. I mean, if there is anything in there, it's so minimal, it's dismal. Non-GMO, non-genetically modified, okay? What does that mean? That means that it was grown from a seed that is a natural orange, that naturally has those vitamins in it, of vitamin C, and all the wonderful other benefits to oranges. And it looks orange. It's this bright orange color. When you peel it, it's got this squeeze out of the orange that just kind of gets on you. Okay, this zest that comes out of the orange, right? And then when you smell it, it's so citrusy. It's so orange, right? I mean, literally everything about it. This one over here doesn't smell like anything, except for maybe a little bit of citrus, because remember, maybe like 1%. And then when you taste it, it's got this zing that it puts on the side of your cheeks because it's so citrusy and so good. It's got this wonderful acid to it that when you look at below the skin of the orange peel, like when you peel that off and you see the skin of the orange, you could see all these raised pulps. Those pulps are so full of fluid that are so delicious that when you bite into them, they're so juicy. There's no crunch. This one over here's got this weird crunch to it, okay? Now, how do you know where to get it? A local farmer. Where was that farm? Was this farm somewhere in like New York? Was it in some sort of a building with ultraviolet lights? Mm-hmm. And was it out of some funky seed that was modified to either not go bad and look plastic, and the skin is so thin and weird? And then also when you open it up, it's just, you're like, where's my orange, right? And it's crunchy. No. From a farmer, from a real farmer, not someone who farms genetic oranges. No genetically modified oranges. There's literally like little to nothing in there, if I have not expressed that enough. Research, do you want to have your oranges shipped from Florida? Do you want them shipped from California? Because there is a particular environment that oranges need, whether there's a lot of moisture, and it's this humidity that actually does help the orange tree grow and produce these ginormous oranges that you would literally mistake for grapefruit. And look up local farmer or farmer-owned oranges. And there is a season. There is a season for fruits. So if you find that you are not finding those non-genetically modified oranges, go with a supplement that has been made from non-genetically modified oranges. You will know because the bottle says engineered, genetically modified, or it will say non-GMO, NON-GMO. All right, so I'm going to break that down here in just a little bit, okay? So vitamin C converts iron into a form that your body can use more efficiently. It's like turning a key to a lock, and it unlocks the iron's potential. You can get vitamin C from citrus fruits, bell peppers. These are the same thing. Don't get genetically modified peppers. Don't get genetically modified strawberries. Okay? Don't use genetically modified orange juice. Okay? Even though it may say natural from Florida, but then on the bottle, on the carton, it says engineered. No. Engineered does not mean that a robot peeled the orange. No. Engineered means there was manipulation to the value, the efficaciousness of that orange. It was manipulated, and it's not going to digest well in your system because it's not supposed to. Okay? So, you want to take these oranges, these bell peppers, these strawberries, or the orange juice at the same time that you're taking your iron supplement. Now, non-GMO and organic fruits are usually richer in nutrients because they haven't been genetically altered or overly processed. I'm also going to tell you this. There are organic. I can call this organic. Why? Because I made it. I didn't make this, by the way. But it's organic. I made it. And I can actually call my brand organic. Know the original seal of organic. Whenever I say seal, what does it say? Okay, well this one says USDA organic. Do you see this right here? USDA organic. Is this the seal for USDA organic? You will see some that look funny and it'll have a cute little leaf on it and it'll say USDA organic. What is the original symbol for USDA organic look like? You will be able to spot it. Celiac disease, there is a symbol for wheat-free, gluten-free. You are going to see those and you are going to notice what those are and what those look like when you start looking at products, produce. Okay? So, those genetically, those non-GMO foods, they retain more vitamin C. And they have antioxidants. What is an antioxidant? Antioxidant is something that is so fantastic for your body that can actually be a helper for your immune system, which can also be a helper for anti-cancer. Okay? There's so many other things that I could talk about. If you have questions, book a call. Let's have a conversation. Okay, so that supports your iron absorption naturally. So when possible, choose whole, non-GMO fruits and vegetables that help your supplements actually do their job. Now, I will give you this caveat, and I gave the caveat last time. If you have a hunch, if you don't know if that fruit, vegetable is USDA, show me a picture of where the sign is in the store. Show me a picture of the fruit. And if there is a sticker on the fruit, I want to see that. Send it to me. I'm happy to help you. I am happy to help you to know, is that a real symbol for non-GMO? Is that a real symbol for, is that genetically altered? If you want to know what I'm talking about, look at a box of Cheerios. I'm not saying, well, you can even look at a box of gluten-free Cheerios. It says the same thing. Modified, bioengineering. Okay? So, now, I'd love to know, what's your favorite way to get your vitamin C? Do you prefer fruit? Do you prefer supplement or something like a smoothie? Okay, so drop that in the comment section. I would love to know. If you want help with this information and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. Now I'm scared to go to the grocery store and shop. That's not my intention. My intention is always to raise awareness and educate. Raise awareness and educate so that you can be smarter in the grocery store and be smarter when it comes to your pocketbook. Okay? I don't think this is information that your pharmacist or your doctor is ever going to have time to provide. which is why I do this. Okay, so who shouldn't take iron without guidance? Now, this is really important, and I want you to hear me clearly. Not everyone should take iron supplements. If your iron levels are already normal or high, extra iron can actually be harmful. Okay? So, too much iron can build up in the body and affect your liver, heart, or digestion. That's why it's important to know your numbers first, especially if you have certain conditions like hemochromatosis. Now, where your body stores too much iron, chronic liver disease, or even if you've been told that you have elemental ferritin or elevated ferritin levels. And I will tell you to also look into sickle cell disease. Okay? Always, if you have sickle cell disease all day long, your specialist, your hematologist, you will have a hematologist, you have a blood specialist that is following your care for that. And they will know what you should and should not do. Okay? So if you're not sure, talk to your provider, talk to me, book a holistic health consultation with me. I can help you look into your symptoms. I can look at your lab results. I can look at your lifestyle to see whether your fatigue is actually from low iron or something like maybe a thyroid imbalance or stress. I want to see your lab results if you want to share those with me during your holistic health consultation. Let's have a discussion about it. It's all about you. Now, this is my invitation for you to book that. If today's Wellness Wednesday helped you understand iron a little bit, if it helped you understand it just a little bit better, but you're still unsure what's right for you, this is exactly what we will cover in your holistic health consultation. Also, I will tell you, if you want to talk about celiac disease, if you want to talk about eating gluten-free, if you want to talk about eating for your body type, if you want to talk about any of those other programs that I talked about, book that consultation call, because that is the gateway for us to know other things that you can get started with, or what would be another great suggestion that I would have for you of another program or a protocol that I have done this for 27 plus years, y'all. I know how to not waste your time or your money. Okay. So what we'll do during your appointment is we'll take a look at your hormone stage. Perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. Which one are you in? Because that makes a difference. Are you still having a menstrual cycle? Okay. We're going to look at your symptoms. We're going to fatigue, hair change, low mood. I had a woman telling me yesterday, she said, I'm losing my hair. I'm like, let's have a conversation. Remember, the car is starting to make noise. It's starting to rattle. It's starting to say that there needs to be something that happens. This is not the time to hop onto Amazon and hopes that it fixes your problem. Okay. Now I can create for you a holistic plan using nutrition, supplements, and a lifestyle that supports your body naturally. I think outside of the prescription bottle, and there are times when I will look at your prescription medications and I will say, I feel like these are not helping you at all. Let's have a conversation with your provider about, can you take these and why? Why do I feel like you should be able to take these? Okay. So, and I have seen iron be a prescription, but you will see all day long iron over the counter. There's iron infusions. Let's have a conversation if iron infusions are perfect for you. If so, why or why not? Okay. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Iron is not just about energy. It's about oxygen. It's about life, and it's about vitality. Okay. When your body has what it needs, you show up more fully in your health, in your home, your purpose. Okay. If you are on your cycle this week, remember that your body's time to rebuild. Okay. That's your body's time to rebuild. Okay. Honor it by giving yourself rest, nourishment, and care. Okay. Now, next Wednesday, we are going to talk about how stress affects nutrient absorption. Okay. Yep. Still going to be talking about iron. Still going to be talking about that. Okay. So my name is Connie, and I look forward to seeing you next week for Wellness Wednesday. If this information made so much sense to you that you're like, okay, now I can go back to next Wednesday and dive in and see what you were talking about, how you do that is you click on the Connie Street profile, click on the More button by where it says photos, like that. Click on More button, click on Events, and scroll up to last Wednesday's live. It'll be there. That video will be there. And yes, I do plan on saving these. I plan on saving the 4 Mondays, Wednesday. I plan on saving them all. So that if there was a favorite day of the week that you had, we're going to go over it. We're going to go over it. We're going to give it to you if you want it. If you're like, oh my gosh, just give me the entire month's worth, I would love that. I would absolutely love to help you with that. What I think is most important is for you to receive this information not as a diagnosis. It's not. Not as medical treatment. It's not. This is a wake-up call to what is someone not telling you in this world. And this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. This is what I've done for 27 years. I love doing this as a nurse. I love doing this, especially whenever I do self-care coaching, especially when I'm people's menopause mentor. I love to provide this information. So I told you all that I'm doing a drawing. Okay. So I will show you. Boop. All right. I told you we are going to be doing the NAD plus. Okay. This is going to be the giveaway. It's in a glass brown bottle. Why is it in this bottle? I'm going to go over it in the Self-Care University OK Wellness group. Okay. This is the drawing that I'm doing today. Whenever you tag 5 people in this live video right here, and you tag 5 people, okay, and you tag one person, give them at least 5 words of why they should watch this video. To the second person, 5 words of why, 5 words or more of why they should watch this video. When you get to 5 people, your name gets in the drawing. If you are the only one that does it, you won. Okay? This ends tonight. If you are someone who is watching this on the replay, that is a year from now, ask me about this NAD supplement, and I cannot wait to get you a link, and I would love to give you a discount information on it. Okay? Trust me, that's really good. So, you all, I will see you in the Self-Care University OK Wellness group, and we're going to talk about that NAD+. You all have a fantastic day. I will see you next Wednesday. Y'all, we only have 2 more Wednesdays after this. See ya.